Hello, and welcome to the first research assignment. I'm your host, Patrick Nance, and I am here to talk about 5 trends and predictions for 2020 in cybersecurity. And alright, let's get started. Alright, and our first topic is about ransomware. A question that I would like to ask is, what is ransomware? It is a type of malware that prevents users from accessing their system or personal files for a payment. Last year, some ransomware took a hold of businesses, healthcare facilities, and even school districts, which is a bit scary because those are very public places and you just don't know who can ever be attacked. With that being said, John Ford, who is the CISO at ConnectWise, states that selling ransomware to cyber criminals will increase in 2020 due to how cheap it is to buy code from the criminals who produced it. With ransomware coming out and being that accessible, it's gonna put a lot of dents and breaking of bones just to come back and clap back the attacks, because we don't know when these can happen, especially in public places like that. Going next, we have Lyron Barrick. He is the co-founder and CEO of BitDam, and he explained that ransomware threats evolve faster than security software can detect them, which is a little bit scary because this is giving attackers a head start to go against security teams when it's one man versus a whole team. That can just put a big stall on how to stop the attack and where it's coming from and just to track it down. Ransomware is not something fun to talk about. And moving on, which leads us to our next topic, talking about private security and local law enforcement. With the new age coming, businesses, schools, healthcare facilities, and etc. will have to work together with the law enforcement to increase the safety of people and data. You never know what it is like to have your privacy, identity, and data taken from you until someone likes to breach into a system and take everything that they can. While public places feel safe in the real world, cybersecurity and the local law enforcement will have to communicate to protect the data of those whose records have been saved, whether that means they immediately get breached in their system, if they're about to get breached, or if they're looking for the person that is breaching. You never know what can happen in an organization until it actually happens. On to our next topic, we're going to be talking about 5G services. With 5G rolling out, many people are worried about how security on their device may be breached. From the first breach to the last, there will always be a new way to be attacked on your device. And with 5G coming out this year, the use of connected Internet of Things devices will grow tremendously. This will increase a network's vulnerability to a large-scale 5th-generation attack. The Internet of Things devices and cloud services are still considered weak in terms with how fast technology is advancing. This huge volume of personal data will need updates on their security in order to prevent breaches and theft of data. You never know what you can get with this new service that's going to roll out with 5G. It doesn't worry or leave any more paranoia than coming out of the next year, but beware of how your device may be breached in the near future. Our last topic in the trends of 2020 is the attack in the cloud. Organizations today run most of their work in the cloud. Understandings of how security works in the cloud is still very new. Cloud-based security needs to be in the loop of today's world in order to reduce the risk of being attacked. Security breaches are not new in this world, but the way that the cloud could handle that could improve how we will view security in the future. So this is probably my favorite topic that I've studied, because I didn't think that the cloud would be attacked that often, especially with how recent its popularity has grown. Security breaches are still very common. It can happen a lot more in the cloud, just like how it did in the 80s when floppy disks were inserted into a computer, or if you downloaded an email that didn't seem really safe or secure, or you didn't know where it came from, or even if your device is being breached. The cloud is still, I would say it's kind of safe, but it's very touchy-feely on what kind of data you want to leave out in the open for someone to breach. Now, with the cloud being that vulnerable to being attacked, does this mean that security is going to have to up their game, or are they going to have to find a new loop in order to figure out how to stop attacks in the cloud? Because there are very unique ways that people could attack the cloud, whether it's injection or a Trojan, or even adding whatever file you want to add in the cloud to invade it. Your privacy is just as not safe in the cloud as much as it is on a piece of paper. You just never know what attack could happen to you in the possible future. To end my research, I would like to show you my cited sources. Thank you again for giving me this assignment. I spent the past few days trying to figure out the right words to say and what information that I have gathered. But thank you again. I look forward to the next one.